Good morning, Acting Commissioner Bertoni, Executive Director Hakam, and New Jersey Transit Board. Yesterday, Amtrak overhead wire problems led to hour-long delays for thousands of New Jersey Transit customers, or commuters rather, trying to get to work in New York. This morning, it happened again on the Northeast Corridor. Since the ART tunnel was abruptly canceled in 2010, train commuters have grown increasingly frustrated that our ability to get to work on time depends on infrastructure that was built during the Roosevelt administration. Let me be clear, the Teddy Roosevelt administration, and wires that were electrified when his cousin, FDR, occupied the Oval Office more than 80 years ago. But putting aside catastrophic delays caused by Amtrak or acts of God, please allow me to address an area where we feel New Jersey Transit can make improvements immediately: the daily bus commute to and from the Port Authority bus terminal in New York. The new pilot program of adding gate supervisors in bright yellow vests seems to be working well at the specific Port Authority gates where they've been stationed thus far. So if it's possible for NJT to expand this program and place additional supervisors at even more gates, you'd hear even more compliments like these taken from Twitter. The two gentlemen at Gate 211 are hustling to get people and buses moving. I hadn't seen it happen like this before in 6 years. Gates 210 to 212 and other gates moving well with additional staff. But many other gates are still with snaking lines. Still, it's a start. The yellow jacket dude phoned in 2 buses, and now we're moving. Why can't we do this every day? But in the meantime, with the majority of your gates unattended, most social media commentary tends to sound like this. Line for Gate 325 loops around the floor 3 times every day during rush hour. It was very difficult to locate the end of the line. No Port Authority staff is anywhere near sight. Port Authority is a nightmare. Too many people jammed in a place that can't hold them all. It's an accident waiting to happen. Clearly, the powers that be at NJT aren't commuters. Think the gate agents are not up to the 300 gates yet. Perhaps they're still identifying where to place them or train them. Route 136, no scheduled 5:20 p.m. and no gate attendant to provide a nonsense excuse for its absence. One of the worst transit days at Port Authority, not a single gate rep to be found. The opposite of progress. Port Authority is a mess. My bus is late, no gate attendants like you promised. Let's be clear, Board. Getting more gate supervisors to help with crowd control in the evenings is only the beginning. Over 5 years ago, the Tri-State Transportation Campaign called for an evening rush hour westbound XBL for New Jersey Transit buses, but this idea was apparently met with resistance by Port Authority. We at Delayed on New Jersey Transit respectfully request that New Jersey Transit management go to bat on behalf of your commuters to make a weekday evening outbound XBL a reality this year. Speaking of the XBL, you're likely aware that over the last month, there have been perpetual bus breakdowns on the inbound XBL each morning. Please allow me to share the following dialogue that took place between commuters on our Delayed on NJT Facebook group page last week. Chris said, New Jersey Transit bus driver gets an alert that the XBL is experiencing heavy delays and the normal lanes are clear. What does my driver do? Of course, straight into the parking lot of the XBL. So tired of this crap every single day. Mike responded, I brought this issue up with a customer service manager. He followed up with operations and was told that no driver is given the empowerment to leave the XBL and go local. If they do and passengers complain that the bus operator's detour delayed their arrival to Port Authority, the complaint would count against them. Well, what if they detour and the passengers send in compliments, I asked. Then nothing would happen, he said. Most of the smart, practical drivers won't break off of the XBL from fear of being punished by management. On its own, that's bad management. But it could be overlooked if they use the GPS tracking to say, hey, let's direct a dozen buses to take 495 instead of XBL. Wait 10 minutes and see if we can break off another dozen. Everything does not have to be this difficult. And then Chris, the first commenter, responded, while sitting in the XBL, I did see a fair number of buses driving down the regular lanes. So someone, somewhere, is getting it right. Just doesn't seem to happen to be any of my drivers. During the month of June, it's fair to say that many New Jersey Transit bus riders could relate to one of Bruce Springsteen's lyrics from Rosalita. Well, my tires were slashed and I almost crashed, but the Lord have mercy. My machine was a dud stuck in the mud somewhere in the swamps of Jersey. These problems have existed for years. And it seems that on-time performance has gotten noticeably worse since Hurricane Sandy. But we have an opportunity today. For the first time, New Jersey's Senate President and Majority Leader have joined us here to lend their support and political leadership. We, the commuters, urge you to seize this moment. It doesn't have to be this way. We are counting on you, the New Jersey Transit Board, to take rapid action to turn things around as quickly as possible. We believe in you, okay? We're rooting for you. We know you can do it. We know you can do it. We know you can do it. Thank you for your time and your attention.
Thank you. Thank you. The next speaker is David Peter Allen.